Section 9 of Shadowland, September 1919. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Shadowland, September 1919 by Various. The Height of Indiscretion by Hadi, Barron, and Saxon Cohen. Cast. Narrator read by Larry Wilson.
Effie Letterman, read by Lindsay Ann Cameron.
Roger, read by Greg Giordano.
Sheila, read by DC.
Therese, read by Winifred Assman.
Miss Nevada, read by Lynette Calkins.
Voice 1, read by Elsie Selwyn.
Voice 2, read by Bill Mosley.
Curtain rises to disclose the library of Miss Reno, Nevada's California bungalow in the most plutocratic section of the movie colony. All California bungalows in aforesaid colony are palatial. This is, therefore, palatial. Vague shapes show in the semi-darkness. Gate-legged tables, chaise lounges, an occasional slender palm. At the back, casement windows give out onto a moonlit garden of roses, and silhouetted sharply against the white glow from the windows are the figures of a woman and a man locked in a close embrace. The air is hushed and breathless, almost vibrantly waiting. Through the door to the left sound distant strains of dance music. As the curtain rises fully, the two silhouetted faces meet in a kiss. As the kiss gets nicely under way, the doors are flung open and several people appear on the threshold. They start back as they perceive the osculatory pair.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Such an intrusion. So sorry.
The intruders retire, whispering factitiously among themselves. The pair at the window break away from one another in horror.
Good God! Effie Letterman!
Do you suppose she saw us? To recognize us, I mean. Oh, say you don't.
The man does not answer at once, but fumbles about along the wall, stumbling profanely over tables and chairs, and finally locates an electric switch. In the flood of light they are revealed as a piquant, not to say press-agented young woman in an equally piquant evening gown, and a typical movie idol variety of young man. Their eyes meet and fuse in blank despair. With a groan,
This is a bally mess I've got you in for. I ought to be horsewhipped, instead of which I shall probably be stoned. Nice little stinging scorpion stones from nice little stinging tongues. If I could only protect you at my own expense. If only you weren't involved too. Good God, I see now. The woman does pay. But to think that you should have to pay for me. My darling, I simply can't bear it.
Perhaps it won't be so bad as we think. Of course she recognized you. There's no mistaking your inches, nor your shoulders, nor your celebrated profile. But well, really, I look a great deal like Therese in the darkness. They were even thinking of having her double for me in my last picture. And in the dark...
The dark is right, I'll say. I suppose there isn't much difference, then, between several doses of applied henna and hair like the paleness of minted gold.
Clasping her hands.
Don't, Roger. I can't listen to flattery on the brink of ruin. I've always kept so free of this sort of thing. There's never been a breath to touch me. Oh, don't you suppose she might have taken me for Therese?
I don't know. She sounded so damned pleased. Effie does adore scandal, and she's always been hopeful of it among us. And there never could be much of a scandal about Teresa. She's too promiscuous. Besides, knowing about us, and then...
With another groan pointing to the jeweled ornament in her hair.
Oh, she must have seen that against the moonlight. No use. We're lost.
I'm lost, you mean? A man can live down anything, I tell you. A woman, never. Oh, why did I let you do that, and here of all places? Why can I never resist you? Why does your spell reach out and take hold of me wherever I may be, whatever I may be doing? The scent of those roses is not more powerful to me, not more drugging.
She begins to weep daintily, desperately.
And we've kept people from suspecting for so long.
Taking her hands tenderly.
Sheila, dearest, why do we try to hide it any longer? Don't you love me enough to come out before the whole world and confess our secret? Make a clean breast of it. Don't you, my dear?
Shrinking.
But with a married man and a married woman, my dear, the thing simply isn't done. Wouldn't go. No, we could never live it down. Everyone in our set would snub us.
But there are other places, other people who will look at things differently, who are not so narrow. We might even go away.
With a deuce-like gesture.
Away? After all our struggles to get where we have in our art, after all our struggles to get in socially with the best of this colony, after we have just succeeded, oh, I can't. Don't ask me.
Pacing the floor, consumed with remorse.
I was a cad. I should have thought of you, not of myself, of your reputation rather than my desire. But you're so damnably beautiful in that gown, Sheila. So enticing, so seductive. It doesn't seem fair of you, Sheila, to look like that.
Looking out of the French windows and giving a little convulsive cry.
Hush! Here is Therese coming now. She has been walking in the rose garden. And she's alone too.
That isn't half so incomprehensible as it would be if she wasn't.
No, don't you see? She hasn't been with the others. If we could only make them think that it was her you were kissing.
By Jove! But what about the thingamabob?
He points to the jeweled bandeau in her hair.
Leave it to me. Go out there.
She points to a small door to right.
And come back in about 10 minutes.
He exits, and Sheila opens the French casements and calls to someone outside.
Oh, Roger, it's our dance, you naughty, neglectful man.
Therese enters, on the umbrageous side of 30, yet holding on to the coat-tails of youth like grim death. You know the kind. She wears a gown still lower than Sheila's, but without the same effect, which she probably knows. With inscrutable glance one woman gives another, she loves.
Sorry, dear, it's only me.
Smoothly.
I saw you, and so I assumed Roger was somewhere near. He usually is, you know. My dear, I only wish I had your talent for men. It amounts to positive genius.
Surprised, but willing to be flattered.
Oh, no, now, bien, well.
Indeed it does. Effie Letterman was just saying to me that Gertrude Van Vleck told her that she heard Charlie Coddington tell Saxon Sills that the man who married you would be awfully plucky. That is, of course, lucky. And then a woman's success is known by the number of husbands she has had nowadays. And you've had, how many is it to date, dear?
4, not counting the one I lost naturally. That was Bartwell Bremer. Do you remember him? Poor dear! I can't help but be glad that he passed away before Prohibition came. He was one of the few men I ever saw who could drink 2 Clover Clubs, 3 Manhattans, and a stein of lager at dinner, and still be able to quarrel with the waiter about the amount of the cheque afterwards.
A trifle distrait.
5 husbands of your own that you were married to, I mean, beside all those you weren't. Positively, that is a record.
Patronizingly.
Oh, well, it's all in getting the knack of it. Sometimes it's a bit inconvenient, though. The other day I met a man at a house party who looked vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place him until we had had quite a nice little flirtation. Then something he said made me think who he was. My second husband, my dear, if you please.
What was it he said?
Quoting.
I say, baby doll, did you know you had a deuced tempting little mouth?
But they all say that. I don't see why that reminded you.
Yawning.
Oh, it wouldn't, except that I got my decree on the strength of that remark. You see, it was the maid he was saying it to the last time. Men have absolutely no imagination, my dear. All of my husbands made love to me in exactly the same words, gave me the identical excuses for being out late, and said precisely the same things on the witness stand. It's only in moving picture leaders that men ever say anything original.
A trifle distrait.
A screen career's a great thing, isn't it? My husband simply adores to see me in the pictures. I'm so silent, he says.
In the distance. Moving toward the door.
I believe they're shimmying. Don't you adore to shimmy? I suppose they...
Desperately.
My dear, I never saw your gown till this minute. There's so little of it. It's a love, a positive man-trap. Those shapeless things just suit your figure. But...
Standing off and contemplating it.
There's something lacking.
Coldly.
That's the style nowadays, my dear, to have just as much lacking as the law allows. The more of the wearer and the less worn. This is what Worth calls the Eve model.
Oh, I didn't mean that, but just a little touch somewhere to make for...
Knowing her woman.
And what a love of a gown. But there's something lacking.
Therese looks suspicious.
Oh, no innuendo, but just a little touch somewhere to make for absolute perfection. Ah!
She appears to have a sudden inspirational thought, takes jeweled ornament from her hair, places it about Therese's head, then with clasped hands of admiration surveys her.
Perfect! Absolutely perfect! I have outstyled Lucille.
But really, dear, this is too kind of you. I don't know. I don't see...
Not another word. Besides, here comes someone.
As Roger enters.
Looking for you, if I'm not very much mistaken. Well, now that the company is here, the crowd will proceed to disperse.
Blows them an arch kiss, shakes a waggish forefinger, goes out laughing, perfunctorily.
Teresa, where the deuce have you been? I've been looking for you all evening.
Pouting in her best ingenue manner.
Oh, have you? I fancied you managed not to see me rather cleverly when I tried to catch your eye after dinner.
Lighting a cigarette.
What an imagination it is.
Continuing to pout.
Positively, you talked exactly like a husband at times. When a man begins to make excuses, a woman may just as well begin to make plans for another man.
Conciliatingly.
By George, you're looking awfully well tonight. There isn't a woman here can touch you, nor a man who doesn't wish he could.
Old stuff, but it still goes strong.
That thingamabob in your hair is just what you need. You ought to wear one always.
Aside.
It attracts the attention away from the face.
I thought you would like it when I bought it. Do you know I always try to think what you would like, Roger?
Archly.
I wonder why that is. It is quite beyond me why I do it.
Manfully doing his duty.
I hope it's because you care what I like. You know, Teresa, and I know, and you know that I know.
Sighing.
Well, let's walk a bit, old thing. Doesn't the scent of roses sort of go to your head in the moonlight?
As they stroll leisurely out.
Rather, I should say.
As they disappear down the aisles of roses, the doors open and several men and women stroll in, among them Effie Letterman and Miss Reno Nevada, all very dernier cri, so to speak.
I tell you, I saw them with my own eyes. Kissing. Actually kissing. Haven't I seen close-ups of them, sans number? Wouldn't I know?
How vulgar.
Unpardonable. Unpardonable. Absolutely unpardonable. Completely unpardonable.
It's worse than vulgar. One may be vulgar and get away with it. One may never be provincial.
If it had been that ducky chauffeur, or that ever-recurring extra man with the soulful eyes, or that lamb of a Czechoslav you've adopted for a pet, it would have been too cute. Those things will happen. But Roger? It simply isn't done.
It's too bad, but we shall have to cut them off our lists. C'est tout. We couldn't run the risk of this occurring whenever they're guests together.
And then, think of our public. Think if a word of this should get to the press reviewers. Not even Roger's popularity would stand under the scandal. It would absolutely ruin his career.
Poor Roger. You needn't tell me it's his fault. He was simply dragged into it by that scheming little...
Pauses as Sheila enters, etc. Enter Sheila, door right, humming a careless little song. She meets their glances of surprise and distrust with a sweet naivete.
Has anyone seen old Roger this evening? I suppose it's due to low visibility, but he seems to have disappeared.
Silence, painful and prolonged. Glances, raised eyebrows, facial interrogations, mustached cachinations.
My dear, I rather took you to be an authority on that subject.
I? My dear, how naive of you.
The French windows reopen to admit Therese and Roger, the former wearing the incriminating bandeau. The women exchange furtive glances. Effie nods knowingly.
Behold the prodigals. I suppose you have forgotten your 2 dances with me, Roger.
With a melting glance at Therese, who presents a rather distrait appearance.
There are times, my love, when a man is almost justified in forgetting his wife.
To Sheila.
I'll have to make your husband's apologies, dear. It was my fault that he forgot. But you see, didn't see. Oh dear, I can't seem to. Anyway, you have him now, with my best wishes.
She goes out smiling archly. Effie and Miss Nevada and train follow. Audibly to audience.
I was mistaken. It was Teresa he was kissing. She never forgets her role. How nearly I convicted that poor dears of bad taste.
Cutting in.
And to think how nearly I convicted that sweet Sheila person of such peasant instinct. I'm positively something to atone.
Last words lost as party exeunt, collapsing into the nearest chair.
Saved! My God, what a close call! Well, we'll never commit that indiscretion again. Oh, I'm weak.
Approaching her with ardor, tempered with apprehension.
Never? Never is a long day.
Rising precipitately and backing away from him.
Have a care, Roger. Of course, I mean never except before the camera, or under lock and key.
Curtain drops hastily. End of The Height of Indiscretion by Hadi, Barron, and Saxon Cohn. End of Section 9.